Hello, hi, and welcome to another episode of Wellness in the Workplace. My name is Mbali Mziane, and I am your host. Wellness in the Workplace is a podcast that aims to equip new and experienced professionals with the tools and insights to navigate challenging workplace dynamics. And on today's episode, we're talking about something that really excites me quite a lot. We're talking about cultivating a growth mindset for career growth and development. And I'm speaking to an NLP coach and employee wellness specialist about this topic. So if you're feeling a bit stuck or stagnant in your career right now, this just might be for you, because we're talking about how you can move from a fixed mindset to having a growth mindset to help you not only with your professional development, but also in other areas of your life. Claudia, welcome to Wellness in the Workplace.
Hi, Mbali, and thank you for the invitation. It's something that really drives me and excites me to shift people's minds and get them to grow and evolve. And watch that happen is such a pleasure for me.
Yes, amazing. And I mean, you being an NLP coach, this is like your niche and your specialty. But for anybody that's listening or watching who doesn't know what an NLP coach is or an employee wellness specialist is, can you tell us a bit more about your background and also just how you came into practicing this kind of work?
So my story goes back, a long time, but how I got onto this path was losing my sister to suicide 14 years ago.
Sure.
And I don't do well with pain, so I need to. I'm a solutions-based person, so I'm in a situation. I need to know how to get out of it. So I kept looking for answers and digging in, searching to grow. And then as I began healing, I wanted to now help others who were on the same path. And so it then led on and evolved into then helping others choose life.
Sure.
And not only choose life, but thrive in life. And that's how I then discovered NLP and life coaching, because it's solutions-based,
Sure.
solutions-driven. So we help to shift the mind, understanding how the mind works, and it's extraordinary. It fascinates me daily. And giving you, so basically saying, okay, I'm in the pit. Now, how do I get out of it? Not just sitting there. Yes, there's a benefit in processing your emotions, but working through it and actually finding the solutions to get out. And that's where the NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, comes in to shift your mindset.
Amazing.
And then obviously branching into corporate wellness, because so many people are struggling and to cope and thrive. So that's where we go in and just assist companies to be more productive, to be successful.
So can we start off then by defining what a growth mindset is? I think, a lot of people don't maybe reflect on whether or not they have a growth or a fixed mindset, unless if they put in a situation where they have to then try and exercise some skills to get out of a pit, like you said. And only then can it maybe come to their awareness that maybe I don't have the skills, and maybe I need to find a way to navigate the situation differently. So how does a growth mindset help you do that? But also, what is a growth mindset?
So having a growth mindset is basically having the belief and the desire to grow and evolve daily. Because if you think about it, not one of us are the same as we were yesterday. Physically, emotionally, we grow, we evolve, whether we like it or not. But having that belief and the desire and the want to grow and evolve and learn more, and then also adapting to change,
Sure.
and being flexible within that.
Yeah. And can you share then the difference between what a fixed mindset is and what a growth mindset is? And how can somebody tell which one they're occupying or which one they have?
So there's quite a few factors, and one of them is the belief that we have in our capabilities and talents, where a fixed mindset will believe that they're not good enough and they can't do better.
Sure.
And somebody with a growth mindset is I'm always learning, and the more I learn, the more I grow. Another one is a response to challenge, where someone with a fixed mindset sees a challenge or is presented with a challenge and feels like they'll never be able to do it, so they just don't take that step to progress or learn. Where a person who's in a growth mindset will take the challenge and take it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Another difference is the response to obstacles. With every challenge we have, with anything in life, obstacles present themselves. Where a person who has a fixed mindset will see it as it's a problem and there's nothing, and then end up walking away because I can't fix it. Where someone with a growth mindset chooses to see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. And those are a few of them. There's also, response to criticism, for instance, where somebody who has a fixed mindset will take it personally, take offense, and take it on themselves. Where a person with a growth mindset will see it as, okay, it's feedback. What can I do? What can I learn? How can I grow from this? Take that and apply it in a different way to learn and grow from that. And then, for instance, seeing success of others. Somebody in a fixed mindset, for instance, will see somebody who's successful and thriving as a threat. That they're going to show my incapabilities, so I'll stay away from that. Where somebody who's got a growth mindset will see it as be inspired and want to grow and want to be part of that, to become like that. You don't want to be the person who's inspiring you. Be your authentic self, but want to grow and learn and aspire to be that's successful or productive.
Yeah. So how does one then fall into a fixed mindset? Because I don't think it happens consciously, right? I don't think it's something that, you choose. Whereas a growth mindset seems like one that, a person can opt into and choose and say, this is how I choose to see the world. How do you fall into a pattern of having a fixed mindset?
So it's a lifelong or pattern, continuous pattern of limiting self-beliefs.
Sure.
There's a lot of factors that play into that, of growing up where you see others, where you compare yourself to others. And we can't really compare ourselves to anybody but to ourselves. If I meet somebody and they're comparing themselves to somebody else, I'll say to them, if you're going to compare yourself to anybody, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Not somebody else, because we're not on the same path. We're all on a different path. So, it's a lot of patterns, beliefs, cultures, limiting beliefs, and that how we end up in that cycle of having a fixed mindset, and then the negative self-esteem and self-worth starts kicking in.
Yeah. So now shifting into your career, right, and how a growth mindset can benefit you. Can we talk a little bit more about that in terms of the benefits of having a growth mindset in the context of the workplace?
So what it does is, having a positive or a growth mindset is it fosters continuous learning. It improves your performance. It promotes collaboration. It drives your innovation. It enhances your leadership qualities, increases job satisfaction, and opens new opportunities for new career paths and growth and development. And not only does it benefit your individual career, but it benefits also the productivity and enhancement of the corporation or association that you work with.
And how then can managers and leaders then foster a growth mindset within their teams? Because, like you said, I mean, it enhances the organization, it enhances innovation and productivity. So it definitely is in the managers and the leaders' interest to make sure that their teams are thinking from a growth mindset and acting from a growth mindset.
So, firstly and foremost, in a as a manager, walk your talk.
Sure, sure.
You know,
Practice what you preach.
practice what you preach.
Yeah.
Lead from example. So be that person that that thrives from a growth mindset. Set that example for others. Encourage your team members to have a growth mindset. Recognize their growth, their potential, and acknowledge it and encourage it. Promote more resources for learning in the workspace.
Yes.
And give the time for that as well. Because a lot of companies do offer that, but then they expect the employees to go and do it in their own time. And let's face it, especially women, we have so much as it is now. Must still go at night or on the weekends. And sometimes we just don't have that time. So promote and offer those resources and time to be able to learn and grow and evolve, and then also provide a positive feedback, and also offer the opportunity for feedback coming from your employees, because even as a manager, as an executive, you also need to know where your shortfalls are coming, because none of us are perfect and we're always growing and learning. So offer that opportunity for your employees and team members to be able to offer feedback to you as well. Promote opportunity for challenges. Promote opportunity to set goals. Promote a space for them to explore and take risks, so that it can take your company, your organization to a different level. Because you might have somebody that's never had the opportunity to get to where you are, but has those innovative ideas and skills and tools, and they can benefit. And if you feel motivated, inspired, and encouraged, what do you want to do? You want to do more. So as a manager and executive, that is the best way to encourage that in your workspace.
Yeah. I mean, not everyone has the, I guess, luck to have a manager or a leader that is like of a growth mindset or wants to expose them to opportunities, whether it's learning opportunities, growth opportunities, promotional opportunities. So if you notice that your manager or your leader is maybe of a fixed mindset and you're trying to navigate that, how do you best go about doing that to ensure that, it doesn't put a ceiling to some of your ambition and your growth potential?
So the best, I would say the best opportunity is get yourself a coach, a mentor that can mentor you, that can keep you not only accountable, but motivated and inspired to grow, so that you don't fall into the rut of becoming that fixed mindset as well. Focusing on your growth, focusing on your development, and taking time for mindfulness, or to actually take stock of where I am. Spend time every day. People don't appreciate how beneficial it is to have that time to yourself, to just reflect, reframe, and work on where you want to go in life, and what is your long-term goal. Because so many times we're focused on the immediate gratification, that we give up on the long-term goal. And the more you focus and set those goals for yourself, set those SMART goals, which is specific, measurable, achievable, reflective and time-based relevance and time-based goals that are driven around development and growth, not only achievements.
Yeah.
And that keeps you on that track so that you don't get held back and by somebody else or the environment around you.
Yeah. In terms of then facing failures and setbacks and disappointment, how do you think that having a growth mindset can help you overcome that?
So when you have a growth mindset, you realize and you know that there's no such thing as failure. Okay.
Let's talk more about that.
So failure, and this is one of the biggest lessons I learned.
Okay.
And especially when I did my NLP course, because
Yes.
I grew up that perfectionist A-type personality, always wanting to be perfect, afraid to make a mistake, fear of failure, so many times that fear of failure set me back and held me back from achieving what I wanted to achieve, because I felt like I would be judged, or of fear of making those mistakes. And when I did the NLP course, our instructor, our trainer, who's an amazing person and really motivates me, taught me that it was the biggest lesson I've learned and carry it with me, is that having a growth mindset is seeing a failure as an opportunity to learn and grow. There's no such thing. Fail just means first attempt in learning.
Okay.
If it doesn't work the first time, you readjust, you reassess, and you re-strategize, and you do it again differently. So what if it doesn't work? The world doesn't end. Nothing's going to happen. You just start again and do it differently, and take those lessons that you've learned and you apply it differently. And that's how you grow and you learn and you evolve. And then also using, having the growth mindset helps with failures and those setbacks by enhancing your problem-solving skills, as opposed to, well, this is a problem, I'm just going to let it go and walk away because now I've failed or it's not working. It's looking at it, okay, there's always a solution to a problem. So see it as an opportunity to learn, grow, and find that solution, because once you find that solution and it actually does work, the feelings and the emotions and the reward is just going to be insurmountable. You actually, it's worth any money in gold, because that feeling that you're going to feel of accomplishment is just worth more than anything you can think of. It encourages as well adaptability and flexibility, because we sometimes set a goal and we're set on taking this road from A to B and getting there, and that's how it's going to be. But having that growth mindset is having the adaptability and flexibility to know that there's going to be curveballs, there's going to be obstacles. So if I can't get from A to B, I can go from A to C to B to D. It doesn't really matter. All roads lead to Rome, right? No matter how you get there, the point is getting there.
Yes.
And enjoying the journey as well. Seeing everything as an adventure and excitement, as opposed to just problems and stress.
Yes. I really like that. Having just the approach that it is an opportunity to learn, number one, but also it's an adventure, right? I remember listening to a podcast some time ago, and the host was saying that it's not a failure, it's a finding. And that's essentially what it is that when you put yourself out there to do something for the first time, you find out either whether it works for you or a different way that you could have done it. And I think that's definitely just that growth mindset and growth perspective that allows you to just overcome that kind of disappointment in a better way. So anybody that's listening, thinking that, oh my God, this growth mindset sounds amazing. And I notice within myself that I don't have one. I'm, very limited in my thinking. I think it's going to be the end of the world just at one mistake or one setback. And I want to change that. What are some of the practical steps that one can take to cultivate that growth mindset? What does it look like on a day-to-day basis?
So first and foremost is consistency, because the brain rewires itself and likes persistence and repetition. Okay. Then have the courage to take that first step, because once you've taken that first step, then the next one and the next one comes easy. It's having the courage to say, I'm going to do this. I am going to change. I want to be that person. I want to grow. I don't want to stay in this position anymore. And then be kind to yourself. Focus on all the achievements. Write down. It's very important, because sometimes we don't take the opportunity to recognize all the achievements and all the challenges we've overcome in life. We forget about that, and we don't celebrate it secondly. So write down all the achievements you've accomplished in life. Write it down, and then take a look at it and realize and recognize and acknowledge for yourself how much you've grown and achieved and accomplished in life.
Sure.
And then do that on a daily basis. And sometimes you will realize, I have clients that I tell them to do that. And when they come back, they say, I can't believe I actually thought I was doing nothing. And yet I accomplish so much on a daily basis. And I am actually serving a purpose in this company, in this environment. And it's only when we actually write it down and we look at it and take stock of it, then we can shift and say, okay, this is where I am, this is what I've accomplished. Celebrate those and reward yourself for it, because the brain rewires itself on the recognition of the achievements of your goal, not only on the achievements of the goal.
Sure.
So now, remember when we were in school and we had a competition and we passed and we got a reward for it. What happens? Now you want to go and do more, So the more you reward those small achievable goals, the more you'll be motivated and inspired to do more, because motivation and inspiration doesn't just fall into your lap. It comes by taking the courage to take that first step, rewarding yourself for accomplishing it, and then that motivation and inspiration kicks in.
Yeah.
And it's reflecting and looking at yourself and taking stock, like where do I want to go? And then set those goals and break them down into small achievable goals with rewards for every small achievable step you've overcome. And then most importantly, it's important to have somebody that's going to motivate you and keep you accountable. So get yourself a mentor, get a coach that's going to be there with you every step of the way to motivate you, because that's how we change the mindset. Because it's easy to start and then not have somebody pushing you or motivating, inspiring you, and then you fall back into the same patterns. So have somebody, and then seek out like-minded people.
Yes.
Seek out people who have that growth mindset, and because they will motivate you to grow and evolve more. So network, find workshops or podcasts that you like to listen to, books that you like to read. Create a curious mind. I have everybody in my life will tell you that I ask way too many questions.
Yes.
But it's the only way that I want to learn and grow. I say that the day that I stop learning is the day that I'm going to die, because I always want to have that curious mindset. But why? But how? But who? But when?
Yes.
That's how you learn and grow. And that's just being consistent and persistent with it, because that's how you rewire the neural pathways. That's how you create a new pattern in the brain to then cultivate a new mindset, a new way of living, and a new belief system.
Yeah. And for anyone who may be listening thinking that, oh no, I'm too old for this, or I'm inexperienced, or I just don't have it in me to become this person, and maybe they may be stuck in their career, not knowing how to overcome that. how do you think then those practical steps can help them?
So having that belief that if I'm too old and I can't do it, that's that fixed mindset. But how do we get out of that is shifting and changing, become curious. You're never too old. I remember a few years ago, I met a couple. I went just about a few months after my sister passed away, and we were looking for a place to have a retreat. And I found a place in Mpumalanga, and the couple that was running this place was an elderly couple, and they came from the UK. And they were in their 60s, and they sold their one-bedroom apartments in London, 2 one-bedroom apartments in London, and came over here and bought this massive place, amazing place. And you know, my mom had that mindset of, I'm too old, I can't do it, my life is done now, and I've done it. And the lady said to my mom, we at the age of 60 moved and made that change because, and they lived there for until her husband passed away, sadly. But they made an amazing place. They built it up. They did a dam. They created a labyrinth. Each room he had different baths that he set up, and it's having that continuous belief that I'm still alive. I'm each moment, live for now. We hope for the future, but we live for now. And I want to learn more. I want to grow more, because the more you learn and grow, the younger you stay. I believe. And if you're going to stop, that's when your brain dies.
100%. And lastly, how can one stay motivated to just keep and maintain their growth mindset? Because again, life does throw curveballs at you, and it's easy for you to regress and lose sight of whatever goals you may have, and also that growth mindset that you've held on to. So how do you maintain that, and how do you stay motivated to keep up with that growth mindset?
So I believe very much in keeping yourself motivated is to stay a consistent repetition. Keep doing what you're doing, but then seek out feedback from people around you, from your managers, from whoever, to see how what I'm doing is working, and how can I learn and grow. You know, seek out feedback. Take that criticism that you get, or the feedback that you get, and use it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Set those smart, achievable goals for yourself. You know, it's very important to keep yourself accountable. Get that mentor, get the coach. Have a positive mindset. Continuously use positive affirmations. Check in. And most importantly, one of the most important things is take stock of your internal dialogue. What do you say to yourself? That internal dialogue. You know, if any negative thoughts come in, grab them, reframe them, and change them to a positive. Now, a lot of people will say, but, you know, just be positive all this time, and imagine that you're, for instance, you're in a field of thorns, okay? And now you want to get out of this, or it's not just picturing that I'm in a field of roses or a field of flowers, because what you're going to do is you're going to set yourself up for disappointment. Staying positive in that sense is saying, yes, right now I'm in this field of thorns, but I have the tools, I have the skills, and I have the capabilities to actually create a beautiful garden. I can plow this ground, I can water it, I can plant new seeds, and create that garden that I want. It's not just saying to myself, it's all beautiful and roses. It's not. It takes time, it takes effort. And having the patience. So many of us always say, I was born without patience. I skipped that cue on the way up, down. But it's once we have that long-term goal to look for and focus on, then we don't just seek the immediate gratification. We stay persistent and have the patience and put the effort in to reach those goals and get there. And that's how you stay motivated and inspired to continue on that path.
Love that. So it wouldn't be a wellness in the workplace episode if we didn't ask our bonus questions. They
Absolutely.
add a little bit of fun and a break to the seriousness. So I'll start off with the first question. What book, podcast, or article have you read or listened to that shifted your perspective about work? And how did it shift your perspective?
So, I mean, that's such an interesting one, and there's so many.
Yeah.
But I love anything by Mel Robbins. She's
Yes,
absolutely
she's
amazing.
lovely.
I love her energy. I love her way of thinking. So you know, anytime I need that inspiration, I listen to anything of hers. But one, and I think I did mention it earlier, is what really inspired me about work and shifting my own mindset was when I did my NLP course. And I did the course through Action Factory, and the practitioner, the trainer, who is a master trainer in NLP life coaching. His name is Dion, and he lives what he teaches. He really does, by all that he's gone through in his own life. You know, he if you listen to him, he will tell the story of how they told him he would never walk again, and today he stands and is super energetic at the age of 61 or 62. And what he taught, you know, the what he taught me about failure, because that was always, you know, my biggest, the fear of failure. And that really stuck with me. And it's something that I continue to remind myself, that there is no such thing as failure. It's only feedback. And so what if it doesn't work out now? So what?
Yeah.
Did a piece of the sky fall on your head? No. Did the world end? No. What happened? Yeah, so what had happened? Okay, what did I learn from it?
Yes.
And then I take that and I grow. So if you ever want any inspiration, then listen to any of his YouTube videos on his channel, Action Factory, and it literally shifts your mind, changes your mind.
Yeah, amazing. Second last question. What does wellness in the workplace look like for you?
So I'm a bit of a dreamer.
Okay.
For me, wellness in the workplace, and I think it's what we need more of, is love, compassion, and humanity.
Oof.
I
love
think
that.
You know, we're also focused on the end goal and those, you know, reaching those targets, that we forget that we're working with human beings and not machines.
Yes.
So if we can all learn more compassion and humanity, because we're working with human beings, and also just learn to live as well. We're not human doings, we're human beings. So just be, and then just embrace and live for the moments as well. Embrace each moment for what it is, and live for no matter what you're doing, no matter how mundane a task is, make it exciting. Be present in the moment and appreciate, acknowledge, and love the person that's with you. You don't have to love and kiss and hug them, but you know, but it's just appreciating each person for their uniqueness and authenticity. And that just makes going to work fun, because we spend so much time there.
Yes.
You know, we want to actually still enjoy it.
Yeah. So I don't think that's a dream, to be honest, or a dream-like ambition, because one of my previous guests mentioned something similar, saying that her mission, when it comes to the work that she does in the workplace, is around rehumanizing the workplace. And those are very human qualities that you've just spoken to: love, humanity, compassion. And it does take that, I think, for the workplace to become more human and to become more inclusive, and where people can truly feel like they belong.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So lastly, any closing remarks about our topic, about the work that you do? Where can we find you? And I don't know if you want to speak a bit more about what you do with Azure.
So yes, we've got a company called Azura Body Mind Soul.
Yes.
And myself and my colleague Sandra, we do workshops. We do employee wellness as well. We do talks at companies, at different schools, to raise awareness. So, having lost my sister to suicide, that is a big drive for me as well, still, to raise awareness, to encourage people to choose life. So that is a big passion of mine. I do volunteer for a group online that we supports people who've lost siblings to suicide, because siblings are the forgotten mourners. And so a lot of times don't have the support and guidance that a parent who's lost a child to suicide, or a wife, or a spouse. So I'm very passionate with that. That's my volunteer work at the moment. And so we have a website called zurabodymindsoul.com, and we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram as well. And we are starting to go onto TikTok, but yeah, that's a process.
Yeah.
And just passionate about, I love working with the brain and shifting that mindset. So I focus a lot on anxiety, stress, giving you the techniques and tools on how to reduce anxiety without having to take medication, building somebody up, removing this low self-esteem and self-worth. That is a huge driver for me. I love watching somebody just flower into that beautiful, authentic self that they are, and that feeds my soul.
Yeah.
So that's and where I want to go from there is I want to branch out internationally. I think, and I've heard so many people say how amazing the South Africans are, because we are warm. We are, and I've traveled as well, and there's no place like South Africa. There's no nation as friendly, as warm and welcoming and resilient as South African. So I think we've got a lot to teach the world, especially in those first world countries.
Yes.
They can learn a lot from us. So that's like my next step, to grow and evolve as well. But still honing in on our people and our nation as well. But
loved it.
Growing into it.
Yeah. Amazing. Claudia, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the gift of your insight and just all that you've shared around how one can really take charge of their mind. I think more than anything, that's what it is, right? Before you're able to take charge of your life, of your career, it has to start with the mind. Yes. And I think the process to cultivate a growth mindset is definitely one to start with. And thank you for watching or listening. This is Wellness in the Workplace, and we've brought you yet another amazing episode. Please do continue listening to the podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as to all podcast streaming platforms where you can find the podcast. My name is Mbali Mziane. Thank you once again for tuning in. I will catch you on the next episode. Bye-bye.